Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and welcome to the final part of Omaha 500 qualifying, where we have the 30 locked-in drivers post in their qualifying times, and we finalize the starting lineup for the Omaha duels. So basically, we already figured out the 3 drivers that are going to transfer in on speed, as I'm going to show you here. These are all the open cars that went in. Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Elliott, and Tyler Ankrum were the 3 drivers that got in on speed. Ankrum, obviously a huge upset. That was the very last team to enter on the entry list. It was so new that it didn't even participate in all the practice sessions. So yeah, I have no idea where they got that speed from, but I guess they figured it out here in qualifying. But will they be able to hold on to those spots? I highly doubt it, because we got 30 drivers here, most of them pretty experienced on this channel, that are looking to get on the front row. So basically, here's how that's going to work. The top 2 fastest between these guys and these guys will start on the front row, and they will be on pole for each of their duels. But that does not mean they will be starting respectively first and second. So let's say Keselowski qualifies first, and Cole Custer qualifies second. That doesn't mean that Keselowski's starting first and Custer starting second. That only means that they're going to start on the front row. Whoever finishes highest in their duel will get the pole, and the one who finishes lower will start on the outside pole. So that gives them more of an incentive to race. So let's start this qualifying session and wrap up Omaha 500 qualifying. Alright, so the first driver in this locked-in group to qualify is Aric Almirola from Stewart-Haas Racing. And he, Kevin Harvick, Erik Jones, and Alex Bowman are locked in because they were high enough in Your Cup Series Season 4 owner points to get themselves locked into the show. The other 26 are the LTPSS teams that run the full season in the LTPSS, and that's how they got in. So yeah, Almirola's going to put his lap in. Also, before that happens, I'm going to quickly go over the crash policy. Sometimes a car will roll over or flip over in their practice lap. They will get a do-over. They get up to 3 do-overs. If they crash on all 3 do-overs, then they will not be able to post a lap. So anyway, Aric Almirola is the first one up, and let's see where he's at. It looks like he's 6th quickest. If I go over there and look at that, yeah. Expect faster times from this group than the previous group, since there's some more high-powered cars in this group. So yeah, Aric Almirola, 6th quickest of the bunch. Alright, next up is Aric Almirola's teammate, the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Harvick has recently broke his winless drought on my channel, although technically it wasn't on my channel, but it is in one of my series. It was in the BMRN LTP Pro series. Let's see what kind of lap Harvick's going to be able to put up. Pretty close to where Almirola is, but I think he's a little bit slower. Yeah, he's a little bit slower than Almirola, about half a car length slower. But that makes him 7th quickest out of everyone that's gone. Next up is the Joe Gibbs Racing number 20 car of Erik Jones. His teammate Denny Hamlin was one of the drivers that wasn't locked in, and he's still not locked in, as he needs to qualify in through the duels. But Jones doesn't have to worry about that, so where will he end up qualifying? We're not going to know yet, because he is upside down. Alright, second attempt for Erik Jones. Hopefully he can get a lap in this time. And he will, and that was a really fast lap. I think he was the 3rd quickest. Yes, he was. He's just behind Elliott and DiBenedetto, who currently hold the front row spots. It's going to be hard to beat some of these guys up here, because DiBenedetto's lap was really, really good. And so was Elliott's, and obviously Jones had a pretty good lap here. Ankrum in 4th. That's ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on to the next driver. Alright, next up is the last of the non-LTPSS cars. it's Alex Bowman. There was a number 88 entered in the LTPSS All-Star race, but that was a junior motorsports car driven by Salty Salts. So Alex Bowman, the York Cup Series Season 4 champion, gonna come up and get a lap done, and he goes for a wild ride, as that lap's not gonna count. Second attempt for Bowman the showman. Let's see if he can actually get a lap in here, and that was not a very flashy lap. Kind of around mid-pack. I think he's about 10th quickest or something like that. There you can see him right between Denny Hamlin and Austin Cindric. Next up is the first LTPSS team. Every other qualifier from here on out will be an LTPSS team, and this is the number 34, driven by Michael McDowell, who almost won his duel in York Cup Series Season 4 Omaha 500 when he was trying to qualify in. Doesn't have to worry about qualifying in now. All he has to worry about is that front row. And speaking of front row, not only is he driving for Front Row Motorsports, but I think he got really close to getting onto the front row. Yeah, he was third quickest, but he was barely short of Elliott and DiBenedetto, just like Erik Jones. All right, the next driver to qualify is the 24 of William Byron, running the Liberty University scheme. He's only run that scheme twice. We're going to see how he does in this qualifying run. Oh, is that going to count? Hold on. I'm going to need to review the replay on that one because I'm not sure if he rolled over or not. Alright, so here we are on the replay. We're looking to see if Byron rolled over. This is a lot like the Brady Wilmington situation from LTPSS qualifying. So we're going to watch Byron. He's going to come into frame right around here. Now, did he ever roll over? Now, this is going to be hard to judge. But judging from that, oh, it's really tricky. Right there, I think he did. I think he's upside down right there. So, that was a roll, and so he will get another chance. William Byron will. Alright, so after that footage review, William Byron has been given another shot at that lap. So this will be his second of 3 attempts, and he's not going to improve that much. Byron, near the back of the field. I expected him to be fast, but he's right in between Brandon Jones and Ross Chastain, so a disappointing run from William Byron. Alright, so next up we have the Interstate Batteries, number 18, Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, driven by York Cup Series Season 3 champion Kyle Busch. So we'll see if he can post a good lap here. And he did, and he joins the club of drivers that are really close to the front row, but just can't get there as he was 5th quickest. This is ridiculous. So many drivers, they're just so close to that front row, but it's still DiBenedetto and Elliott who have it. But Kyle Busch, 5th fastest out of this group. Next up is the Richard Petty Motorsports machine, driven by Bubba Wallace, who did pretty good in the Season 4 Omaha 500, but just didn't get the result that he was looking for as he was involved in a late crash. Let's see if he can try and get a high starting spot in the duels. And it looks like he's about mid-pack, right around where Bowman is. So he will line up between Brett Moffitt and Corey LaJoie. Alright, next driver up is the original York Cup Series champion. Won it in York Cup Series Season 1 all the way back in 2017 when it was on Google+. Jimmie Johnson. Let's see what speed he has in that 48, and he has a lot of speed. He might have taken the pole. Okay, I don't think he took the pole, but he could be on the front row. It's really close between him and Chase Elliott. I'm just going to swap him with Erik Jones here real quick to get a better gauge of where he is. So Jones is about right here. And Johnson's about right here, so he's just short again of the front row. This is getting ridiculous. Somebody's got to take the front row. They can't just keep getting this close and not getting there. Next up is the other front row racing, or front row motorsports car, the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek. Nemechek had a solid run with Caleb Campbell Motorsports in the ARCA Series Season 4 Omaha 500. And he's looking to back that up here with Front Row Motorsports and see if he can get a good run here. And it's, again, around in the middle of the pack. This seems to be where most of these guys are placing, either in the middle of the pack or all the way up here, really close to the front row. I think Nemechek's going to be between Hamlin and Bowman here. Or is he ahead of Hamlin? That's tough to see if he's ahead of Hamlin. Let me try a different angle. The officials have determined that Hamlin is indeed ahead of John Hunter Nemechek, so that means Nemechek appears to be, I believe, 13th fastest. Alright, so next up is a Pacific Racing car, the 78 of Ryan Truex. He has been in 2 Omaha 500s and has crashed out of both. Looking for a turnaround in this upcoming Omaha 500 as he is locked into the field. And looks like he's just going to be ahead of John Hunter Nemechek and also ahead of Denny Hamlin. So I believe that means he is 11th quickest. So next up we have the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I believe he's a former pole sitter for the Omaha 500. I think he was the pole sitter in season number 3 with Roush Fenway Racing. Let's see what he can do in the JTG Doherty Racing number 47. And it's another car that was really close to the front row, but is not going to be able to get it. It's just been the story of this entire session. Nobody's been able to take it from DiBenedetto or Elliott. They just keep getting so close within a car length. Man, I just want to see someone take the front row at this point. This is getting ridiculous. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I believe that makes him 7th quickest out of the bunch, and yet he's that close to the front row. Alright, next up, one of the 5395 racing cars, the 53 of Justin Allgaier, and I made a mistake in the previous part when I said that there were 5 true rookies. There are actually 6, and the last 2 are going to be coming back to back. 5395 Racing, kind of unproven in these cars, but we'll see if they've got the speed in them. Doesn't look like Allgaier does, as he is going to wind up 4th slowest of the bunch. Just barely ahead of Myatt Snyder and Quinn Huff, and still a decent ways away from Brennan Poole. So yeah, not a very good run for Allgaier. Next driver up is a driver making his last ever start on this channel, because this will be the last race that he'll be eligible in. It's David Reagan, and he's driving the number 40 City Lights Racing Chevrolet. This is another unproven team, at least with these cars. So we'll see what kind of speed David Reagan has. And it looks like the lower part of the mid-pack, he's going to slide in perfectly between Alex Bowman and Ty Dillon there. And he's going to have a lap time that's between Corey LaJoie and Christopher Bell. The next driver drives for Roush Fenway Racing in the number 17. It is Chris Buescher. So Chris Buescher was in the Season 2 Omaha 500. But I think that's it. I don't think he was in any other Omaha 500. So this will be his second attempt as he raced part-time in Seasons 3 and 4. And he's rolling over. Second attempt for the 17 of Buescher. Try to get a good lap in, and he's over again. Final attempt for Chris Buescher. What he needs to do is he needs to just settle down and just try to keep the car straight this time around to just get in a lap. He does not want to start in the back, and he will not. And he actually has a pretty solid lap there. I think that will put him 10th or 11th fastest, as he's right next to Joey Logano, but I think Logano is barely ahead of him. judging by the rear of the cars. So yeah, I think that makes him 11th quickest. All right, so DiBenedetto and Elliott still have the front row starts. But now we've got the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., another Joe Gibbs racing car. I believe the last Joe Gibbs racing car, actually. Yeah, because Jones, Busch, and Hamlin have already gone, so this is the last of the Joe Gibbs racing cars. And there's only one more Toyota left in this qualifying session. So let's see what Truex will be able to do. Oh, did he actually get on the front row? Did he actually get on the front row? It looks like he did. I think he's the fastest. Martin Truex Jr. to the top of the charts with that run. And he will be the fastest of the entire group. And Matt DiBenedetto will still have his front row start for now, but Chase Elliott has been knocked off the front row by Martin Truex Jr. Next up is the number 1 Chip Ganassi Racing Chevrolet, driven by Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch almost won the Omaha 500 in season number 3, but he ran out of fuel in turn number 3 to lose the race. So let's see what Kurt will be able to do now with Chip Ganassi Racing, as all of his previous starts have come from Stewart-Haas Racing. And that is not a good lap for Kurt Busch. He definitely had a mistake on that lap, and he's going to be placed behind both Justin Allgaier and Myatt Snider. So that's the 3rd slowest lap time for Kurt Busch. Definitely had an issue there on that lap. Next up is the 5th true rookie. Of course, we saw the other ones go in the open qualifier, which was Harrison Burton, Tyler Ankrum, Brandon Jones, and I forgot who the other one was. But yeah, anyway, it was Myatt Snider. But yeah, this is the number 5, another 539.5 racing car, the other one. And it's Justin Haley behind the wheel. He's a true rookie. He's never started on this channel before. His teammate didn't have much speed. Do you think he'll have more? Let's see. And he will have more. He had a lot more, as he will be in the top 12, I believe. Oh, wait, no, never mind, because Truex was up there. I believe he's going to be 13th quickest. So a good run from Justin Haley. All right, next up is the final true rookie. And it is not Harrison Burton, it's Jeb Burton for Caleb Campa Motorsports in the number 25, Little Caesars car. Caleb Campa Motorsports, their number 51 car was pretty fast. Let's see if Burton will replicate that kind of speed, and he will. He went pretty far. 8th quickest, I believe, as I can put him right behind Matt DiBenedetto there. Another driver that was really close to the front row, but wasn't able to get there. Next up is Austin Dillon for Richard Childress Racing in the number 3 car. The York Cup Series Season 3 Omaha 500 winner. That was the race that pretty much almost correctly predicted the ending of the 2018 Daytona 500. So let's see if Austin Dillon can get a good lap time. And, well, he got a pretty nice flip there, but that's not going to count. Second attempt for Austin Dillon. And that was a very slow lap for Austin Dillon. I have a feeling that some of these guys are trying to take it easy in these duels because they know they're already in the race. Austin Dillon will fall between Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe with that lap. Next up for qualifying is the 6 car of Ryan Newman. And we didn't even know if Ryan Newman was going to be in this race because of that nasty Daytona 500 crash he had. But he has recovered since then, and he is ready to race. And let's see if he can get a good qualifying run in. Let's see if the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, can live up to his name. And, well, he put a decent lap out there. I will give him that. Wasn't quite as fast as his teammates, but he will end up just behind Eric Almirola and just in front of Kevin Harvick. The next qualifier is going to be the number 8 for Richard Childress Racing. This is the last RCR car, and this one's driven by Tyler Reddick, who has been in a couple of Omaha 500s but they were both for Junior Motorsports. And of course, this one is for Richard Childress Racing instead. So different team, he's got to get used to it. He also ran the 2019 Thanksgiving Special for this team. And we'll see the speed he's got, and wow, that was pretty nasty looking, but first attempt did not go well. Second attempt for Reddick, hoping to not do that again. And he's going to post the fastest time. Tyler Reddick on top. Now, I definitely did not see that coming because Tyler Reddick was actually pretty slow in most of the practices. And just like Ankrum, he found the speed when it mattered. So it's going to be him and Martin Truex Jr. on the front row as of now, but we still got, it looks like 8 cars left to qualify. Definitely a lot of surprises in this Omaha 500 qualifying session, but next up is the defending Omaha 500 winner, Cole Custer, in the number 41. Can he match up with his teammates who have done fairly good in this qualifying run? And Cole Custer's going to have a good lap as well. Was he faster than Reddick, though? This will knock Martin Truex Jr. off the front row, but let's see, he was faster than Tyler Reddick, so Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick, a couple of rookies in the real-life Cup Series, but not in this race, they are currently occupying the front row spots. Next driver up is the number 37 of Ryan Preece in another JTG Doherty racing car. This will be the first time that this car is entered in the Omaha 500. This will be the first time that Ryan Preece is entered in the Omaha 500. And we'll see what kind of speed that 37 car has. And it's pretty middle of the road, it looks like. As I line him up with the rest of the cars, if I had to guess here, he's right in between Alex Bowman and Austin Cindric, it looks like. Next up, we've got the number 62 Pacific Racing Toyota. That is Daniel Suarez behind the wheel. Pacific Racing has been known to be good at qualifying on the plate tracks, but they haven't really shown it in this session. Will Suarez try and show it now, as the 62's lap is better than his teammates, but still around that same area, it looks like. And he'll slide in right in front of Bubba Wallace, and he will be between his teammate Ryan Truex and the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final 5 qualifiers of this entire Omaha qualifying session. So we've got Ryan Blaney in the number 12 car up here. He did very well in the York Cup Series Season 4 race, but just didn't get the finish that he wanted. A lot like Bubba Wallace. But we'll see if Blaney's got some speed in this Team Penske number 12. Ooh, I feel like he would have had a decent amount of speed if he didn't run into Ryan Preece there. But he's going to be right in between Jeb Burton and Tyler Ankrum, it appears. And now we have the last car from a custom team. Oop, grabbed the wrong car. Yeah, the last car from any custom teams. It's the Caleb Campbell Motorsports number 46, driven by Ryan Sieg, who has won at Omaha before, but not in the 500. We'll see if he can keep up with his teammates who both had pretty good qualifying runs. No, he won't. Ryan Sieg has a pretty weak qualifying run in comparison to his teammates. He's going to slide in between Austin Dillon and Justin Allgaier. Alright, so Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick are still the front row drivers, but we've got Clint Bowyer, who started on the front row before in the Omaha 500, and he's shown speed in practice. So will Bowyer be able to get up into the front row? And if he does, it'll make it a Stewart-Haas Racing dominated front row. Ooh, and he goes for a wild tumble. Second attempt for Clint Bowyer after that failed attempt right there, and he started going to the left there, which didn't give him a very good qualifying run. It's going to be hard to judge where he is in relative to those other cars, but promise me I will figure it out Or trust me, I'll figure it out. Oh boy. We are down to our final two drivers. Here we have the number 42 Chip Ganassi racing car, sponsored by Credit One Bank, driven by Matt Kenseth. So we'll see if Kenseth still has it in him, as he's been in every Omaha 500, I think. Yeah, he's been in every single one. So we'll see if Kenseth still has it in him. And he did alright. It was a decent qualifying run. Again, right in the middle where all these other guys have been. I think he's going to be like between Ryan Truex and Denny Hamlin, I think. I'm going to sort this whole mess out once the qualifying session is over, which it almost is. And this guarantees that Cole Custer will start on the front row. Tyler Reddick's on the hot seat. If Keselowski's faster than Reddick, then Keselowski will be on the front row alongside Cole Custer. But if he's not, then Tyler Reddick will join Cole Custer on the front row. Alright, the final qualifying run of this multi-part series to determine everybody's starting order at Omaha. It's the two-car, Brad Keselowski. He has not won an Omaha 500. There was a couple York Cup Series championships that he almost won. Gonna try and make a name for himself. He's got to beat Tyler Reddick in order to be on the front row. Will he do it? Well, I mean, he beat him, but that lap's not going to count since he went flipping over and over. Second chance for Keselowski. Again, he's got to beat the 8-car, Tyler Reddick. Can he do it? And he does, and he has the fastest lap, actually. Way faster than Cole Custer. The only thing that stopped him was the wiring. And Keselowski has by far the fastest lap of the session, which means him and Cole Custer will be on the front row. And I just realized something funny. Here, let me go and show you this. I promise you guys, this was not scripted. But listen to what I said earlier in the video. But that does not mean they will be starting respectively first and second. So let's say Keselowski qualifies first and, I don't know, Cole Custer qualifies second. That doesn't mean... I called it. I called who would be on the front row. That is insane. It's just me with predicting the future. It seems like it just always sneaks up on me with these diecast series. But yeah, that is insane. But anyway, after that funny moment, yeah, Brad Keselowski and Cole Custer. I even got the order right. That's crazy. But anyway, now it's time to reveal what the Omaha 500 duels starting order will look like. So as you can see here, I've turned over all the cars that are going to need to race their way in, just so I can have an indicator for when I'm sorting through this. And as you can see, there's a lot more go or go homers in the first duel than the second. And I said I'd rearrange them to make sure that there was 8 in both duels. You can see there's only 5 in this duel. I'm not going to be taking away people's starting spots. I'm just going to be swapping what duel they're in. And yeah, I'll let you know when I have that sorted out. So, here is the starting lineup for each duel. I used a random number generator to swap some of the open cars over to duel number 2, since there was a lot more in duel number 1. They didn't actually lose any positions, I just swapped them with the duel 2 counterparts. Every driver with a Lego piece, the colors don't mean anything, but it's just any driver with a Lego piece is a go or go home car. So, in duel number 1, row 1 will be Brad Keselowski and Tyler Reddick. Row 2 will be Matt DiBenedetto and Jimmie Johnson. Row 3, Erik Jones and Ricky Stenhouse. Row 4 is Ryan Blaney and Zane Smith. Row 5, Chris Buescher and Aric Almirola. Row 6, Kevin Harvick and Ryan Truex. Row 7 is John Hunter Nemechek and Ryan Preece. Row 8 is Austin Cindric and Brett Moffitt. Row 9 is Corey LaJoie and Christopher Bell. Row 10 is Harrison Burton and William Byron. Row 11 is Ross Chastain and Ryan Sieg. Row 12 is Justin Allgaier and Kurt Busch. And rounding out the field is Brennan Poole. And then in duel number 2, row 1 is Cole Custer and Martin Truex. Row 2 is Chase Elliott and Michael McDowell. Row 3 is Kyle Busch and Jeb Burton. Row 4 is Tyler Ankrum and Joey Logano. Row 5 is Justin Haley and Ryan Newman. Row 6 is Daniel Suarez and Matt Kenseth. Row 7 is Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman. Row 8 is Clint Bowyer and Bubba Wallace. Row 9 is Quinn Huff and Austin Theriault. Row 10 is Ty Dillon and Brandon Jones. Row 11 is Austin Dillon and Chase Briscoe. Now, rounding out the field in this duel is Myatt Snider and Quinn Huff. So that concludes all of the qualifying for Omaha. So I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-part series. Man, this took forever to make. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Left Turn Productions signing out, and I'll see you in the Omaha Duels.